Welcome back to On the Rise for Canadians of the Week, breaking down the top three Canadian performances of the previous week. It was a very exciting week for Canadians, particularly in the MLS, and one major performance abroad. But we're going to start with my third Canadian of the week, which comes from the MLS and Columbus Crew and the top side in the Eastern Conference in Jason Russell-Rowe. As Jason Russell-Rowe got back on the score sheet, scoring in a 4-2 thumping of Charlotte FC, where Jason Russell-Rowe scored the last goal in the win for Columbus Crew, as Jason Russell-Rowe scored in the 81st minute, giving them a 4-2 victory over Charlotte FC, as this Columbus Crew is absolutely flying in the MLS, sitting atop of the Eastern Conference on 24 points from only 11 games played, as this side has scored 18 goals and only conceding 10. And Jason Russell-Rowe, the 22-year-old Canadian striker, has been a major part of their incredible start to this season. And yes, there was always going to be question marks about Columbus Crew's scoring with the departure of Cucho Hernandez and how well they continued this season. And Jason Russell-Rowe has answered those questions, and he has played brilliantly well. Whether it's been scoring, getting on the board with assists, Jason Russell-Rowe's general footballing play has taken a huge step up. Whether it's in build-up play, he has been fantastic with his feet, linking up possession, holding onto the ball, or in transition, having a quick change in possession and playing very fast. Jason Russell-Rowe has taken his game to a new level, especially since the departure of Cucho Hernandez, and he has been very good this season, and especially this game against Charlotte FC, where yes, he did score late in the game, but his general play throughout the match was very good, as Jason Russell-Rowe had a 7.7 match rating across 89 minutes, having scored one goal on 3 shot attempts, having a 31 for 36 accurate passes, creating 2 chances, as well as having a 0.37 xG, but also got on the ball very well, having 51 touches, 7 inside of the opposition box, and even 4 passes into the final third. It was a very good performance for Jason Russell-Rowe, and it is very exciting to see him continue his good form in the MLS, especially with all the striker options that Jesse Marsch has to him with this Canadian player pool. We're moving on to my second Canadian of the week, and we're staying in the MLS and switching conferences to the Western Conference to the best side in the MLS in Vancouver Whitecaps. As my second Canadian of the week is no other than Jayden Nelson. Jayden Nelson has been absolutely incredible since returning to the MLS, switching coasts, and joining Vancouver Whitecaps, as now scoring in a 2-1 victory against Real Salt Lake for Vancouver Whitecaps. Jayden Nelson scored a beautiful goal in transition, displaying his pace, his dribbling ability, and now his goal scoring ability. His composure in front of goal was absolutely flawless, putting his man on ice, absolutely burning him for pace, his dribbling ability up to no other, and absolutely slotting it into the bottom corner. Didn't need to blast this into the goal, didn't need to place this, and he put it absolutely perfectly in the bottom corner. It was a great goal, a great solo effort from Jayden Nelson to score and give Vancouver Whitecaps a 2-1 victory, as this goal for Jayden Nelson now gives him 6 goal contributions in 7 matches. He has also been out with an injury. We have to remember that early on the start of the season, Jayden Nelson picked up that injury, and he has only come back and continued his extremely good performances, as this side now sit at the top of the MLS and the top of the Western Conference on 26 points across 11 games, scoring 22 goals and only conceding 8. Scoring wise, have been incredible. Defensively, immaculate as well. Sit 7 points atop of a Western Conference. This Vancouver Whitecaps side have been fantastic under Jesper Sorensen, and Jayden Nelson has been one of those Canadian players who have been a shining light. And in this game, getting to go 62 minutes, scoring 1 goal on 4 shots, having 11 for 13 accurate passes, having 2 chances created, and scoring on a 0.43 xG across 4 shots is truly amazing from Jayden Nelson, creating chances for himself and playing some fantastic football. had 3 block shots, 36 touches, 5 touches in the opposition box. He is a very exciting player at the only age of 22 years old. Jaden Nelson has so much talent, so much potential, and it is very exciting to see how good he is playing with Vancouver Whitecaps and back in the MLS, which is why Jaden Nelson is my second Canadian of the week. But moving on to my honorable mention of the week, which is very exciting to see that it is in the MLS. It is with Minnesota United, not Tani Olawase, but it is the goalkeeper in Dane St. Clair, as he had a fantastic performance for Minnesota United in the MLS. As his side, Minnesota, went on to win 3-0 over Austin FC, where Dane St. Clair managed to pick up the clean sheet. As this victory puts his side, Minnesota United, into second place in the Western Conference, of course, behind Vancouver Whitecaps and Jesper Sorensen's side. But this Minnesota United side now sits 7 points behind Vancouver Whitecaps on 11 points in second place, and it is incredible to see the 3 top sides in the Western Conference all have Canadians, all playing decently well and striving at the top of their game. As Dane St. Clair managed the clean sheet, finishing on an 8 match rating on FootMob, as he had 3 saves, faced a XG of 0.34. Also, his 3 saves came inside the box, had 5 throws, 1 high claim, 10 recoveries, and 43 touches. It was great to see Dane St. Clair get the clean sheet, continue his very exciting form, and continue to show why he is the best goalkeeper in the Canadian player pool for Jesse Marsch, and continuing to prove why he is our best goalkeeper available. But moving on to my first Canadian of the week, and this was never in question after how good of the performance he had for OGC Nice in Liga, as Moise Bombito returned for his first match after a month out with an injury, which was with a broken wrist. And Moise Bombito showed up in a true fashion and in incredible form, as OGC Nice went on to win 1-0 over Rennes, as Morgan Sanson scored in the 15th minute, giving them the 1-0 victory. But this puts OGC Nice back into the Champions League places, in 4th place on 57 points, tied with sides like Jonathan Davis of Los Lille, Strasbourg. It is a very tight competition for the Champions League places in Liga. But Moise Bombito was stellar on the weekend against Rennes, as he came back after an injury and played very well. Awarded the man of the match performance for his first game back since returning from injury, which was a very needed performance for Moise Bombito to come and back and play very well after some shaky performances before his injury, which put him in a hard light in some of the supporters groups for OGC Nice. But he came back, played extremely well, got man of the match, going at 90 minutes and picking up a 7.6 match rating. 72 for 76 accurate passes, which is extremely good for a 95%. Defensively, Moise Bombito was a rock, as he had 11 defensive actions, 6 clearances, 2 blocks, 1-for-1 tackles, 1 interception, 2 recoveries. It was incredible. But also defensively, he won 7 of 9 duels throughout the game and also won 4 fouls. Moise Bombito is a true rock, and he has proven that he is one of Canada's, if not Canada's, most important player on the roster. It was an incredible performance coming back from an injury such as a broken wrist, and especially before that injury where he had so much pressure, he wasn't playing up to his usual standards, which it's his first season in European football. He's playing in a huge league and fighting for Champions League places. There was always going to be shaky performances along the way. But the fact Moise Bombito comes back from some shaky performances, from a injury that put him out for a month, and comes back with a man of the match performance is major, both for his confidence, for the club, for the supporters, as well as OGC Nice's push for Champions League places. But guys, my 3 Canadians of the week were, of course, Jason Russell-Rowe, Jaden Nelson, Moise Bombito, and the honorable mention of Dane St. Clair. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Who was your Canadian of the week? Do you agree with my 3 Canadians of the week? Let me know your thoughts down below on what you guys think of the content, the channel in general. Your support has been absolutely incredible, guys. Make sure to smash that like. It really helps with the video and the channel, and smash that sub button. Let's continue to move to 625 subscribers. I will see you guys for the next one. Peace.